So we talked about Overlord quite a bit on this channel already, but we haven't talked about the actual ascended character, Albedo. And going into this showcase, I was wondering to myself, does Albedo stand up to my comments I've made about her in my Should You Summon? Is my opinion changed, or is she even better than what I previously expected? And well, let me tell you some stuff about Albedo. Let's break down the kit first though. Albedo has 3 passives. Her first passive is Freeze Resist level 10, however she won't unlock this till she is at level 100. Her second passive is Paralysis Resist level 10 as well, and then the third passive is her unique passive, Pure White Devil of Mercy. This gives you 300 art gauge when you're near death, and you increase all allies HP recovery by 50%. I didn't know it was all allies. I actually thought this was only for yourself. I might have knew it, whenever I did the Should You Summon, but I skipped over that detail. So that's pretty cool. In terms of the kit, we have a skill that gives you 60 art gauge when you're above 70% or more HP. We have a art that gives you more damage and damage resist if you are a demon. And with the true art, you get a barrier plus damage mitigation. And then with the super art, huge damage mitigation on top of 100% crit chance for yourself. In terms of the slots, we have a 5-star physical, 5-star defense, and a 4-star physical. If you opt in to get this character to LB7, trade out your 4-star physical for a 4-star defense. She could use the 4-star defense if you really want to capitalize on all this damage mitigation, but I don't think it's required. Just like most other super awoken characters, usually their LB7 is kind of redundant. But what can we actually use in these equip slots to make her a little bit stronger? For the 5-star physical, anything that's going to be giving her art gauge or anything that's going to be helping out on her damage should be pretty solid in the slots. As for the 5-star defense, it's just whatever you're fighting. It's completely interchangeable to whatever situation that you're currently facing. 4-star physical, B3 claw all day. If you're using a 4-star defense instead though, you took her to LB7, then same thing with the 5-star defense. Just use it to counter whatever you're fighting. Now for the crest slots. Since she's able to have 2 crest slots, just like every other ascended character, 3 if you take this unit to Lux 60. Since she is a crossover unit, yeah, you gotta take her to Lux 60, which I don't think anybody's gonna do. Equipment CT, first and foremost, since you want her defense equipment slot up as much as possible. You could also go with attack ups, since she does hit pretty hard with the super art. Crit damage as well isn't bad either. And lastly, you could also go with the one and only art sub, because technically I think if you have a 4+, you're practically getting 100 art gauge instantaneously with the skill plus the art gauge up. Now I actually didn't do this whenever I was recording the gameplay of this video, but let's talk about the animations. Let's see them, let's see how good they are. Let's see what we got here with the attack skill. Little axe slash. Okay, we got the skill. I like the skill, lots of effects right there, especially for a skill. The art is just a huge slam. I'm noticing that she's not moving really at all, like no dashing or anything. I really like this true art. I just love the bunch of slashes. It looks really cool to me. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised she doesn't move at all. No dashing forward or anything. And then I've seen this super art quite a bit. The huge lift up, the huge slam down. It looks nice. I think that her animations are better than Shaltier's, but not by too much. I think it definitely has more movement in it. She's definitely doing a lot more. I really like the combo attack here with the skill. I kind of wish the super art had more hits in it, or she did something crazier. Overall, I mean, it's not the greatest animation we've seen so far. I would say it's probably the same as War God Finn's, which I think War God's Finn's was, what, a 6 out of 10, if I'm not mistaken? So yeah, I would say hers is about the same, probably like a 6 out of 10. So this is the team we actually took up against Emmy. I want to try her out in something difficult that maybe she would be able to show off her defensive capabilities in. And as you see, we have a pretty stacked lineup here. The Haruto, the Mako, the Vox, and of course Albedo herself. And this fight was relatively easy. Emmy's always a good testing ground in my opinion, just to see how well a unit will perform, especially nowadays since so many comps can beat Emmy. As she still deals, some actual damage to you, she can kill your team at any point, even with super awoken units. But it definitely shows how good she is as just a damage mitigator. It definitely would have helped out too if we had more of a demon team, but unfortunately until Imes comes out, you can't really make a demon team since there's not really a demon archgener outside of Juno. And I could have used Juno here. I could have with the Mako, which probably would have been a little bit of a better showing, but who cares? Now, one thing that is kind of interesting is towards the end of this fight, whenever she actually puts up the crit resist buff on herself, I'm talking about Emmy, by the way, and you use your super art with Albedo. I don't know if this is just maybe a coincidence with Vox and her, but it seemed like the crit chance from Vox's true art didn't stack with Albedo's crit chance from her super art, which kind of sucks because if they did stack, then that would mean that Albedo would be able to crit towards the end of this fight, since she would have above 200% crit chance, and it would allow her to actually be able to penetrate Emmy's crit resist. But they don't stack. But yeah, not much else to say about this girl Albedo. Did relatively well, did lots of damage. Now as for the next thing, you already know what we had to do. We had to try her out in some nuke comps. And I took her up against the one and only B3. Now, with this comp right here, you can see it's not completely just buffing up her damage like crazy, since we do actually need some type of time stop here to kill this boss. Because we did actually try to kill this boss without a time stop, and it didn't work. We almost killed him. But even her nuking potential wasn't too bad. I think that she definitely could have did a lot more damage if I was running another character that could buff up her damage instead of running someone like Water Malia. Even with this team, she dealt good damage, and she performed relatively well. It wasn't the craziest nuke ever. You know, definitely Mikey is going to be a lot better, or even Simon in the nuker slot than someone like Albedo. But this is still an option you can go with if you want to nuke with Albedo. Look up the damage charts, 2.5 million from the girl, Albedo. All in all, with a little bit of a preview that I got of this unit, I would say she's a very solid character. Maybe around like an A tier character if we were going to put her on a tier list. Either way, that's going to be it for this video, man. Thank you all again for coming out. Huge shout out again to my man Caleb for allowing me to do this showcase. He was the one that recorded all the animations and stuff, so huge props to him. And yeah, you guys let me know down below in the comment section how you're feeling about Albedo, especially if you've been using her a lot. You know, do you think that she's better than what you previously expected? Or are you kind of feeling the same? She's a good character, but you're really only going to use her whenever you need the damage mitigation, or whenever you're using a mostly demon team to utilize, you know, her damage buff and her damage res. Also, if you enjoyed this video, highly recommend check out either one of the videos popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you love them. Oh, and one more thing before you leave. Don't forget to drink water.